Hey guys, how's it going? I just thought I'd do another video. Um, it's been a while since I've done one, and it's kind of stuck at home, not much I can really film, so I thought I'd talk about the horror movies I like. So I'm not gonna do like a top 10 or a top 5 or anything. This is just like some movies I like. They're not in any order, anything like that. But I'm just gonna get into it. So the first one I chose was The Lost Boys, which came out in 1987. Um, it's an 80s vampire movie, nice and cheesy. It has some awesome music. Michael, one of the main characters, is played by Jason Patrick, and then Corey Haim plays Sam, the younger brother, who is in a lot of 80s movies, such as License to Drive, and I can't remember what else he was in, but he's in something else. But I like it, though. It's a good movie. Corey Feldman from The Goonies, Mouths, he's also in it. He's the vampire hunter, which is pretty cool. I think it's kind of actually awesome that he's in it. He's kind of funny. It's not a straight up horror movie. It's more of like a horror comedy. But yeah, I mean, either way, it's about vampires, and I love vampires, so I thought I'd just put it in there. It has some amazing music, like "Cry Little Sister," um, and the special effects are really good too near the end when all the vampires come out and stuff. So yeah, I like that one a lot. And then for number two, I chose "Killer Clowns from Outer Space," which is another horror comedy. Really, it's more of a comedy than anything else. But it came out in 1988, and it's hilarious, but scary at the same time because the practical effects are amazing. Um, it's really cheesy. The plot consists of killer clowns from outer space. So basically, there's these aliens, and they just so happen to look like clowns, and they come to Earth, and they wrap you up in cotton candy and suck your blood. So I mean, I think that's pretty funny, honestly, but I like it a lot. I think it's a great cheesy movie. It's certainly has become like a cult classic. I don't think it was really that popular when it first came out, just because it was so ridiculous. But I mean, it to me it's pretty awesome. Just I don't know. I just kind of always heard about it growing up and never really watched it until recently, and I found it to be actually really really good. So it's just cool. I don't know. I like how the spaceship is like a giant carnival tent, and it spins, and it's hilarious. And the ending is awesome because it has this giant clown that the fans called Clownzilla, which I think is just hilarious, and it's just overall a good movie. Number three, Return of the Living Dead. So this was obviously based off A Night of the Living Dead. I don't know if the same director made it. I don't think he did. I don't think George Romero made it. But anyways, it's kind of based around the same type of not universe. I don't know. Um if you've ever seen Day of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead, those are made by George Romero, who's awesome. But this was at least kind of based off that in a way. So came out in 1985, right in the middle of the 80s. To me, it's like the classic zombie movie. It's this is probably my favorite zombie movie. Probably not my favorite zombie franchise. I think Resident Evil will always be my favorite when it comes to stuff like that. But it has that awesome line where that zombie can talk, and all he says is brains. So I really there's something like that. Everyone always talks about zombies eating brains, and that's kind of where it came from. So I like that a lot. And it really seems like in the movie, the zombies are just indestructible. They can come out of the graves. People turn into them. And they just can't die. And no matter what, throughout the whole movie, it just keeps getting worse. Nothing gets better. Like they open up this container that held a zombie like a virus, and then and of course they're in I think a taxidermy thing. So all these crazy things start coming to life, and people get infected, and it just gets worse and worse. And I mean, as most zombie movies do. But to me, it just seems like it's one of the hardest zombie like scenarios you could even live through. But yeah, I mean, I would probably watch Night of the Living Dead before this. Just you kind of want to get a basis of that George Romero classic zombie movie before watching this. But I love 80s movies. As you can tell, so far they've all been 80s movies, but either way, I think it's a good movie, and the special effects are awesome. I really like practical effects, like because I mean, first of all, in the 80s, they didn't really have like good, CGI or whatever. But to me, practical effects look way better than CGI, because like if it's real, it's real. But CGI, like I don't care how good it is, you can tell that it's fake. So I don't know. I just like that quite a bit. And then for the last one, I actually chose probably, if not my number one, then it's definitely up there. The Blair Witch Project from 1999, not the new like shitty one. I don't like that one at all. But it's probably, yeah, definitely one of my favorite horror movies. I actually don't really like found footage style movies that much. Like Cloverfield, I wasn't that into, and there was actually another zombie movie that was like found footage that I didn't like either. I can't remember the name of it though. But it's set in a creepy forest, which is like my favorite setting. Like in Resident Evil 1, like they're in the forest and like they discover a mansion. And in this one, they're in a forest and they discover a witch's house. But I mean, that's way later in the movie. Spoilers, by the way, I guess I should say. But I really like those like old myth type horror movies where, you know, like there's like, oh, like if you hear about like this, or like, there's a witch in the Black Hills, and that's the forest name is it's supposed to be in Black Hills, Burkittsville, Maryland, I think. And I don't know if it's a real myth there, but I just think it's cool, like those old legends and stuff. And I think it's kind of cool to like. I think that's like a good like basis for a horror movie. But I love the creeping atmosphere. It's really slow at first, and it's filmed like a documentary, which I thought was really cool because people, like, when it first came out, people thought it was real. Which I wish I could have been born to see that, because and watch it. That'd have been so cool. But like the fact that I think people thought it was real made it like that much more scarier. But like it's super slow at first, and like it just starts out like with these three film I think they're like film college students or something like that. They're filming a documentary and they just get lost in the woods, and it just slowly, things start like going wrong, things are going missing, they're seeing weird stuff in the forest, and I just really like it. And the use of sound is like really important because a lot of the movie is like really really dark because they're in just the woods in the middle of nowhere. So I thought that was like kind of cool. Like you barely like hear, like I think you hear like a baby crying, and to me, like that was just really scary. Like imagine like hearing a baby crying in the woods. Like no thanks. But I like it, and like the visuals are obviously really really shaky. So like I think like the use of sound makes that much more scarier because you can't see it and you can hear it, and then you can just imagine like what it's like to be in that forest. So that's that's kind of where I wanted to end off because I just love that movie so much. But yeah, that'll be the video. I'm trying to post more often on here. It's kind of been a good hobby of mine ever since this whole quarantine thing, but hopefully I continue to do it, and hopefully you guys keep watching. So thank you guys. Goodbye.